Well, Democrats are celebrating. They passed their health care, climate change, and tax bill through the Senate without any Republican votes. But will it change their chances in the midterms, despite the president's historically low polling and, of course, the lessons of history? Only twice has this been reversed in 100 years. Joining me now, former Republican National Chairman Michael Steele, Washington Post senior national political correspondent Ashley Parker, and Dave Wasserman, U.S. House editor at the Cook Political Report. So, Ashley, the Democrats' big accomplishments include the chips, the semiconductor bill, bipartisan gun legislation, COVID relief, infrastructure. Now this reconciliation bill. That is a pretty good long list. They still have a very unpopular president in a midterm year, and midterms are historically bad for, the incumbents. They have a very thin margin in the House and no margin at all in the Senate. What do you see as their renewed chances, perhaps because of the abortion vote in Kansas and this, and a better record of achievement?
Well, that's all correct. It's a fantastic list of recent achievements for this president, especially when you take into account that it was done with a 50-50 Senate and an incredibly narrow margin in the House. So, President Biden was asked just this morning if he thinks this will help in the midterms, and he says, yes, he absolutely thinks it will. He also acknowledged the reality that some of this stuff that has recently been passed will take a little while to kick in. You may not see results before the midterms. So the gist kind of in talking to people inside the White House and other Democrats is this is good for the administration. They would rather, of course, have these achievements than not have them. But they're still facing in some ways an uphill climb, including a lot of this stuff, including the Inflation Reduction Act, will not necessarily and certainly not immediately reduce inflation, which all along they have said is the biggest issue facing them in the midterms politically.
Now, David Wasserman, let's talk about some of these key races. And the big picture is, yes, the Kansas abortion vote was a much bigger margin than anyone had expected from red Kansas. And Republicans were shocked. It obviously included Republicans voting to preserve abortion rights as well as independence, because Democrats could not have accomplished that.
Yeah, the key number there is 28%. That's the number of Trump voters in the 2020 election who at least leaned pro-choice on abortion. So it's not surprising that in these red states, we are seeing pro-choice Trump voters show up in these referenda. But the question is whether they're willing to vote for a Democrat in the fall.
That's right. It's a candidate. They can still be voting for abortion if it is actually a referendum on the ballot and, still vote for a Republican candidate.
Yeah, and so I think the best tests that we have coming up are going to be in special elections in Trump-won districts. We have a special election coming up tomorrow in Minnesota's 1st district. We have one in New York's 19th district on August 23rd. And so the question isn't whether Democrats win these necessarily. It's do they hit Biden's number or even exceed it? That would be a sign that Democrats are benefiting from a triple boost of Dobbs, better news about Congress's productivity, perhaps sending Democratic enthusiasm a little bit higher. And then also, of course, gas prices coming down take a little bit of a bite out of Republicans' Bidenflation attack.
David, what about the age issue? That's not going to change.
No. And look, voters are still very concerned. The president is still quite unpopular. But keep in mind that a component of Biden's 40% approval rating has been Democratic voters disapproving of him because they believe that not enough is getting done in Washington. Do the last few weeks change that in Democrats' eyes and start closing that enthusiasm gap? And even more, does it change how independent voters view the president? I think these upcoming races in Minnesota, Alaska, where Sarah Palin's on the ballot, and also in New York will give us clues.
Michael Steele, one of the problems that the Democrats have had is a Democratic Party completely divided and a lot of incoming from the left, against any kind of middle-of-the-road decisions. Now, I saw talking points that came, indirectly, was sent out by the Progressive Caucus. So it was sent out, authored by the Jayapal staff. And so that was to tell progressives to get in line, and here's why we like it, and, ignore what, any of you may think that not getting Build Back Better and all those other family-related issues that you really wanted, forget about those last cave-ins to Kirsten Sinema for the hedge fund people, because we've got to rally around this now, is the bottom line here. And so you're not, I don't think, going to see a lot of incoming. The House is going to pass it. Is that a big boost?
Oh, it's a huge boost. If the Democrats can actually take themselves out of the circular firing squad and focus on getting this piece through the House, and then, to David's point, hitting the road and selling that message, this could create a lot of energy for them going into the fall. Look, the reality of it is they're beginning to realize in circles around Washington and inside the Democratic Party that this historic trend line is not something that's absolute. It can be beaten because of these other environmental issues, if you will, that have arisen, not just the environmental legislation, but abortion has changed the political environment. The economy, with the jobs numbers and certainly with gas prices coming down, have changed the fiscal environment. And so the political environment as a whole is beginning to reshape itself in such a way that if they're tactical and their messaging is tight, they can create some advantages going into November, particularly in those 34 toss-up districts that are out there. They could get some wins.